Hey guys, Magic in the Basement back today for a quickie combo. This one is standard legal, but you could also use it in other formats. Alrighty, so we're looking at... Now, there's more to this combo if you choose it to be. These are just a couple of examples, okay? So, we're looking at the mechanized production. Alright, this is a 4 mana enchantment. Let's get a good, better look, I guess. Try to, what's going on here? Back it up. Alright. It says, enchant artifact you control. Is that any better? Alright, enchant an artifact you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token of that that's a copy of enchanted artifact. Period. Now here's the cool part. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as one another, you win the game. Now that means they don't have to be the artifact that you enchanted. Okay, so they could be, say you enchanted, you know, a soul ring or something. You get a soul ring every upkeep, but once you get 8 soul rings, you win the game. But say you had a different artifact with the same name. They had 8 of them. You also win the game. It doesn't have to be the one you enchanted. And that's where we're getting to the next part of the combo. We're going to be looking at Revel in Riches. Oh, try to get a better look at that. Revel in Riches. It's 5 black for another enchantment. Alright. Now this one says whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap, sacrifice, add 1 color of any mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more treasure tokens, you win the game. Alright, so together they create a winning combo. So say you create, you know, you make a treasure token. There's lots of things in Ixalan that make treasure tokens, okay? So you make a treasure token. You equip the treasure token with the mechanized production. So every upkeep, you're making a treasure token. Every upkeep. So once you hit 8 treasure tokens, you win the game. Or once you play this and make 10 treasure tokens, you win the game. So it's 2 ways to win the game off of a treasure token. Okay? So, I mean, you could use the treasure tokens for mana fixing if you need it, but also your opponents have to be aware, because once you hit that 10, you win. Or that 8, you know, once you hit that number, you win. Now, this in itself is not a horrible combo, but it's not where I'm stopping, because here we go. That's a better view. Because I mean, granted, with this you need to have a treasure token already out so you can copy it, and then you have to play this, you know, and wipe the board and get treasure, yada yada. It's a little bit convoluted. But let's look at another card. Here we go. We got, let's get that into the shot. Misha, self-replicator. 5 mana, colorless for a 2/2. Whenever you cast a heroic spell, you may pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of Misha, self-replicator. Alright, so you play this, okay? Then you mechanize production it. Boom. That means that every upkeep you're making a mechanized, you're getting a copy of Misha self-replicator. Then every historic spell you play, you can pay an extra 1 and make another copy of it. So once you hit 8 copies, you win the game. And with this, it's quicker than other ways, because you can drop this, and then you got historic spells that cost low mana, 0 mana, stuff like that. So every time you're dropping like like the Jor's Familiar, for example, makes you pay less for historic spells. You pay one, boom, make another copy of this. Then all your artifacts get cheaper. You play a Mox Amber, boom, pay one, make a copy of it. Stuff like that. And then on your upkeep, you make a copy of it anyway. So, you got blockers if you need them. You got pressure on every turn you're making another copy of this, and once you hit 8, you win. So if you got a quick, just dropping historics, boom, 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 pay one extra for each of them, you win quick. If you just want to play defensive, destroy their cards or counter their cards, or just play defensive on them, control-y, 8 turns you win anyway. Because once it's activated, unless they get rid of the enchantment or the creature, you win. Because it makes a copy, and once you hit the 8 copies, you win. Also, in standard, if you're playing this in standard, okay, so in standard you can have 4 of each copy. So in EDH you can't. But if you're playing standard, you got 4 of their applicators in your deck. You enchant one, you play another one later. It's still the same name. So then you got 2, and then you could copy. Also, when you get the copies, you can pay the copies each time. So on your upkeep, okay, so your first upkeep, you make a token. Now you got 2 replicators. Then say you drop your Mox Amber, okay, for 0, or you drop your 1 mana artifact, okay. Then you're dropping it. Then you can pay it 2 mana, copy it 2 more times. Then your next one 4. So this gets out of control very quickly. Because every copy you can trigger its copy's ability, and once you hit 8, you win. So it doesn't seem very threatening, but once it's on the board, it is very threatening. And then if you're playing black, like I said, you could do do stuff with the Revel and Riches. That way these are alternate win conditions. You don't have to attack with it if they got a good defense or whatever. You don't have to attack with these cards to win the game. I actually won an EDH game with the mechanized production without attacking. I equipped a Wormcoil engine with it, and then once I made the token of the Wormcoil, I sacrificed the token, and it makes 2 worms. And then the 2 worms, once you hit 8 worms, you win. So every turn I was making a token of the Wormcoil, sacking that token to make the Wormcoil tokens, the little 3/3s, and then I just won without attacking because when I hit 8 of the tokens and won the game. So I mean, there's alternate win conditions a lot of times. You don't have to necessarily worry about swinging for the fences all the time. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. I personally like that the whole not attacking to win games, just because it's fun. So there you go. Mechanized production, Misha self-replicator. They're cheap. I think Misha's replicators are bulk rare. It's like $1, quarter, 50 cents, something like that. Depends on where you get it. And the mechanized production is like $2. So there you go for today's quickie combo. Hope you enjoy it. If you got any suggestions, comments, leave them down there. Let me know what you're thinking. Also, if you have you can make requests if you want to see combos in certain formats. I use these cards because these are cards I got. You know what I mean? So that's why I use them. I don't really have a lot of modern or vintage. I play mainly Commander and sealed events, and these are just cards that I have. But if you request for certain combos in certain play formats, I will do my best to accommodate you guys. Alright, that's it for today's quickie combo. Magic in the Basement signing out. Have a great weekend.